All right, let's talk a little bit about Indianapolis Colts' second-round selection, their first selection of the draft, Michael Pittman Jr. of USC. And we're going to see him aligning to the left of the formation exclusively in this particular cut-up. And want to talk a little bit about Pittman and that fit with the Colts. And a lot of it, to me, stems around the new quarterback acquisition, Phillip Rivers, who has a deep history with head coach Frank Wright. And when you look at Rivers, and shameless plug, we did do an in-depth film study with former NFL OC Steve Fairchild on Rivers on our channel. So if you want to go check that out, we'll put the link to that in the description. But when we looked at Rivers, one of the things that stood out to us is his willingness and seemingly joy in throwing jump balls to big receivers. And looking back at Rivers' time with the Chargers, presently you have a frame like Mike Williams, 6'4". They've had Tyrell Williams, also 6'4". Malcom Floyd there for a while, 6'5". Vincent Jackson was there, 6'5". And certainly the tight end body types. But again, that big body is something that Rivers likes to throw to. He likes to work with them, and again, we'll give them opportunities to go win a contested ball. So I wanted to take a little bit of a look here at what Pittman's game does, how that translates, and then actually go and look at last year's Chargers tape with Phillip Rivers, and particularly some of the targets that he threw to Mike Williams. So again, one of the things about Pittman that stood out to me in this one is, again, some of the nuance to the way he wins, some of his skill set. And then one of the things that was striking to me is the body type composition comparison to Michael Thomas, now of the New Orleans Saints, who's obviously doing an incredible job. They are almost identical in so many areas. So Pittman here, 6'4", Thomas closer to 6'3", Pittman 223, Thomas 212, Pittman 32.5-inch arms, Thomas 32 1/8. Pittman has 9.25-inch hands. Thomas definitely wins on this one with 10.5. They have this almost the same 40 time, 4.52 versus 4.57. Pittman jumps a little higher at 36.5 versus 35. Thomas out broad jumped him 121 to 126. Thomas had a little better three cone at 6'8 versus Pittman at 6'9'6. And then they're almost identical on the short shuttle, 4.14 to 4.13. And I'm not saying that they're a play style comp right now, but that body type is fascinating because we're seeing where that can win and where that can win in different ways. So let's take a look here at Pittman. And early on here against the Stanford tape, we're going to get a chance to see him against a press alignment. He's going to take that outside release. He's going to be able to stack and get over the top of them and then win this contested catch down the field. So we'll see this catch here from the end copy. So he came in at a 4.52, and again, at 223 pounds and 6'4", we aren't sure quite what he played at. You never know with the combine weights relative to the playing weights, but certainly ran well at that size and does look to be in that 220 range. So you're going to see him tracking the ball. He's going to start elevating himself here, and he's going to win this contested catch, plucking it over the DB's shoulder, something that you're going to see Rivers is really going to like to throw. So again, we're going to see him split out down here in this entire clip. So now he gets a corner that's off. And again, he's going to work to drive him upfield. Does a good job of getting him to open their hips, then sink fast and break back down to the ball. For anybody that's seen our Chris Godwin tape, we know how important that is. Good job here. He's a little choppy at the top. Be interesting to see if he can tighten that up a little bit or if that's just not quite his body type and skill set. But really good job driving back to the ball, securing this catch, and turning back upfield to gain a couple yards here. So staying in this BYU tape, now he's down here by himself. He's got an inside leverage corner, and he does a really good job with his head here. So you're going to see him taking this upfield right there. You can actually see his body curve inside. And when he does that, now the DB is also pointing inside, expecting a speed cut or a rounded cut to the inside. And what he's done is he's now manipulated the DB because he's about to take this thing out back. Great job by the DB to flip. Got to give that guy credit there. But a good job by Pittman. Now, again, tracking and securing this catch. A couple of these balls that we're going to see here are underthrown. But he does a really good job fighting for body position and getting himself in there for that catch. So let's take that thing to the end copy so we can see what that catch looked like. Way too much time on the officials. Way too much time on the officials. Come on, boys. Don't need any of this. All right. So again, he's down on the left. Ball's in the air. All right. So he's got to press back now. DB's in great position. He's going to press into that. He's tracking it. He's doing a great job following the ball, floating into its position. Now he's trying to get one hand out because the other one, his right hand's trapped. So it's just his left arm that's out right now. And finally gets that right arm free and secures that catch. Again, that's a skill set Phillip Rivers is going to know how to use. So to the top here. Again, shows a press alignment, but no actual hands-on. That's going to be something he's going to see a bit more of. He's going to have to get used to. Takes that outside release. Good acceleration. He will tempo these routes. All right, so we see that here. So at first, it doesn't look like he's that explosive off the line, but boom, now he hits the accelerator, gets on top. And again, you got a DB pulling at his right arm. And again, this camera angle is not great for seeing how this thing comes together, so we'll look at the end copy. But again, he's got an ability to go win a deep ball that's going to be very, very useful. So we'll hit pause and slow this down. So again, got that body position outside. Doing a good job of what we call holding the red line. All right, he stayed and pressed inside. Now it opens up a big pocket for the quarterback out here to place the ball where the DB can't get it, which is exactly what the DB does. And you can see him outstretch his hands and catch this thing out away from his body while getting both feet in bounds. That's going to be useful. So again, against Utah, this was an unbelievable defense. I think it's 7 or 8 of these Utah defenders get drafted in the 2020 draft. So we're going to see him matched up top. DB showing a cushion, starts to bail. Really good job of getting in the blind spot. So let's show this one again. So the DB is going to start to float and press to the sideline because he's feeling a vertical route. He's got eyes back inside of the quarterback. So good zone technique. But Pittman's going to tuck right in behind him, right on his rear end, right? Get what they call the blind spot. And when he does that, boom, he's able to settle down and come out of that. Now here's again where he's got to work on this, or we'll see if he can. If you count the number of steps it takes him to sink and get in on this, it's choppy. All right, he's getting his feet in and out of the ground a lot. It's not quite the two-step that we talk about as being the ideal. He does get around, but it takes him a little bit there. So he's going to have to tighten that stuff up. We'll be interested to see, again, if he's able to do that. So, again, quarterback's going to be out on the move. He's able to catch this thing and, again, turn back upfield and turn that into a positive opportunity. This Utah game was a good one for him. And again, against a good defense, always good to see players perform against good competition. So this is just an opportunity for him to, again, feel this tempo and know when to accelerate. So right now, this particular safety in the middle field is not feeling threatened. Neither is this DB up top because he's not showing his full speed. Now he hits the accelerator and starts to pull away. This ends up being a jump ball. Quarterback underthrows it a bit. And he's able to go up and pluck this thing away from the safety. Because the safety missed that play, now there's nobody in the field. And look at him continue to pull away and bring this thing all the way in. So, again, we'll look at this thing from the end copy. But a lot to like there. He's got a little nuance in that tempo of the routes. Boom, put his foot in the ground. Bring that back for just a second. So right here, he puts that foot in the ground, and now he's accelerating. He's really hasn't sold this thing yet. In fact, up to this point with that inside stem, this safety doesn't know if this thing's going to break in at this point. So now he hits that juice, ball's up there. Unfortunately, it floats for him, but again, tracking, plucking, and then the ability to accelerate and keep that corner off of him all the way for the score. So let's see him here against Arizona. Bottom of the screen, inside leverage and off. Takes that vertical stem. And again, this is what happens. He feels that DB starting to float. Right here, he's feeling this guy slow down and anticipate something breaking inside right now. And he knows how to tempo these things. He's getting these DBs to bite that he's not going to blow over the top. Now, again, this ball hangs because he's got plenty of distance, but he stops and adjusts back and secures that. So we'll see it here again from the end. Ball's going to hang up here. So here he is. He's got more than a step on top of this. He's waiting. He's tracking. He's going to go up. He's going to elevate, pluck away from his body, and secure. Keep his body control through this. Watch him get his feet back on the ground and continue to run. That's tremendously athletic. Really good stuff there. So now we have Pac-12 rival Colorado. More of a head-up alignment here. About 5 yards in between them. And this is one thing he's got to, he hasn't seen a ton of in the Pac-12 is we haven't seen a ton of actual press or hands-on. He's a little bit of a reroute there at the top. But this is what we like to see, again, from a nuanced route runner. So he starts with a little bit of stem out. He's trying to get him to widen. He's going to actually take himself on initial track. But then he's going to come back vertical so that he opens up this window inside to break this route. Back vertical. Then he snaps it off. He feels that linebacker's at. He's got this official and this linebacker. If he takes this thing down flat, he's going to run himself into conflict from both of these players. That's not going to help. So he has enough awareness to bend this thing around behind here. And now he's off to the races. They're not going to stop him. So we'll see him coming in here from the right of the screen. All right, so he's come around. Ball's out. Good anticipation on this throw. He's got to catch a little bit on his back shoulder here, which is good to see that he's able to do that and then continue to turn as a runner, outrun that angle, get himself across. So here we are against Oregon, bottom of the screen. Now we're showing a little more press up here. Again, not quite hands-on, but he's starting to flatten out his release. And he gets a little bit tall and he's a little bit flat, slows him down just a hair. He can tighten that up a little bit. All right, he has the second player coming out here to reroute him. But he's got the strength. He gets bumped here by this interior player, but he's got the strength to fight through that sink right here. I don't know if you guys, let's take this back for a second. Look at his body posture. All right, he's got we're talking about his eyes over his toes. He's certainly in that position. He's able to sink his hips. This is why it gives me hope that he will be able to tighten up some of those cuts we were talking about before. Snap that thing around, and secure that catch in traffic. If he can continue to sink like that and get in that body posture, clearly has that fluidity, this is going to be a real asset for them. Arizona State, again, same alignment, or same alignment up top. DB playing with cushion. Again, a little bit of manipulation. If you watch that DB, he ends up getting that DB turn outside to inside. And this is just an overthrow. But like to see that manipulation. Safety's able to play over the top. Quarterback just doesn't want to make that throw that way. Safety was on that one the whole way. But a competitor here, look at him secure that tackle and bring that thing down. That's what we like to see. And a player that's willingly said he'll play on special teams, he'll do whatever it takes. The coaches rave about him. So no issues there. Again, another manipulation. So right up here at the top, we have an outside leverage defensive back. He's going to bait him outside and then work it back inside. Great job. And then look at him adjust to this ball. So he was taking this on more of a skinny path to split the safety. Quarterback threw it more in here to the hash. So he's got to try to bend this thing in and find this ball. He doesn't end up securing the catch, but good tracking and ability down the move. That one lost some steam. So again, more here against Arizona State. Again, he's up top, a little bit of outside leverage, about a 7-yard cushion. And this is what happens when the teams start believing in that speed, that ability to go vertical. Now he can snap it off, come tight here on this dig route. Smart to bring it to the sticks and then bring it flat down behind. Again, catch on the move out in front of him. We're going to see this ball's way out. It's that front shoulder. Catch away from his body control to get down and keep running. All right, up top formation again. They're in a trip set. DB's playing almost 10 yards off. And this is just coverage awareness. All right, so he feels that this corner up top doesn't end up bailing. All right, so this ends up in his mind being a cover 2 variant where the corner's here, the safety's over the top, and he's going to feel this window in here right behind this player. And he has to work himself to tuck in and bend that thing in where he's in the window. Really good job there in coverage recognition. So we'll see him take this around, secure that catch, turn up field. All right, so now let's take a look at what does that mean for working with Phillip Rivers now. All right, so again, Mike Williams is going to be the target. We went ahead and selected him, same alignment, so we can see more of an apples-to-apples comparison. And you're just going to get a feel here briefly for the type of throws that Rivers is willing to put up to a big frame that he can trust. So again, this is just 2 guys running downfield. And Rivers is going to lay that thing up, even though the DB's over the top. But he has that trust that his guy's going to go get that. When he has that big frame that he trusts, he will throw these kind of passes up there. And Williams does an excellent job tracking and securing that one. Motion across here by Williams. DB plays with a little bit of cushion. Going to get that reroute. Got to come back inside. We've seen that catch away from the frame. There's that dig route. So it'll be coming in from our right as we watch it here. So you can see he's going to throw that in there. He's going to trust this guy to go make a play. Third and 11, again, stacked alignment, or tight alignment, I should say. Williams attacks it out. Now he's going to stair step and try to take it deep. And again, that's not necessarily open by NFL standards. But when you feel like you can throw it to the back shoulder of a big guy like that, he's going to go make that play for you. So I'm sure Rivers is really excited to see a player like Pittman come into town that's already shown that ability to track and adjust and go fight and secure that deep ball. All right, so one more time here against Oakland. Again, same alignment up top by himself. Now we got press. Again, he's got to bend this thing on that over, feel that zone out, convert up field as a runner. All things I feel like we've seen from Pittman in this exposure. All balls that Rivers is going to be comfortable throwing. Again, here with Kansas City's at the bottom. Again, that press alignment. Something we didn't see as much from the Pac-12 guys. Pittman's going to see more of this. He's going to have to continue to work on his release plan. But again, this is just bodying him out, the top of the route, boxing him out, rebounder style, and going up and plucking that ball. So we'll see it going off to our left here. Rivers throws it up. Williams goes and secures that catch. So again, we can see here, hopefully, that Indianapolis making the move for Phillip Rivers, the types of body types and skill sets that have worked historically for him. Indianapolis went out and acquired one of those players in Pittman and think it'll be a really great fit for that team moving forward.